Hey Dan, it's been a while since I have made a video. It is Saturday, January 27th, and I just watched your Yosemite video on your way down to Southern California. Man, that's great. Really, really good footage. I have learned one thing from that, and that is I need a better camera. So whatever you have, I need one of those. Anyway, the GoPro and the iPhone are not really, I don't think, really cutting it for me. So anyway, sorry about that, Dan. So Marshall and Isaac said that was one of their favorite spots as well, was Yosemite. So I really would like to go there, maybe do a little climbing, but definitely some hiking with you. I do have a set of trekking poles now that Kyle and Jen gave me. They are official LL Bean trekking poles, so you know they're good. Really though, Kyle and Jen actually got them they came with their snowshoes. So I've been using them, and yeah, they work great. So it helps a little bit on my knee. I was actually talking to somebody who had talked to this knee doctor down in Viroqua. He does tons of knee replacements, and even he recommended, if you can still get out and hike with trekking poles and you don't have a problem, do that. Don't get your knee replaced. So anyway, I'm willing to give it a try. Am I up for 15 miles? Probably not without, working my way up to that. But, I could. It's like going out and swimming 5 miles. You're not just going to jump in and do it. Well, I could, but, nobody else can. So anyway, it's been a while since I made a video. Specifically, this video is going to be about the kids' Nordic skiing. The Nordic ski season started, right after Thanksgiving, and it really ends about mid-February. But there are really two Nordic ski seasons that run concurrently in Minnesota. One is the high school season, and the other one is sort of like the junior national season, or the junior national group. So these are people who aren't necessarily skiing in high school. They might be, but they could very well not be just as easily. And the thing about Nordic skiing is that the Birkebeiner. Do you know what the Birkebeiner is? So the official Birkebeiner is in Norway, but the American Birkebeiner, I think this is in Haywood, which is on the way up to Bayfield, and that is a 50K. Hey, Preston. How long is the Berkey? The big one? 50K? Yeah, 50K. And then Preston is going to do what's called the Cortalopa, which is the 25K. And these are like second or third week in February. So the entire the high school Nordic ski season ends before the Berkey, so that it doesn't interfere with any of the coaches or the junior national skiing at the Berkey. So it's kind of strange. It's it would be like the high school soccer season ending a month before it needed to, just because you had 5% of those who were playing soccer in Oregon going off to do a junior national development program or something. So it's just it's kind of odd. Especially given the fact that the best snow in Minnesota is in that second half of February and the first half of March. So really, I think they're cutting the season a full 5 weeks short. So anyway, but here's some video. There are two different meets I have here. One is back in December, and then the other one was just 2 days ago in Rochester. So here's the one from December. So this is really just Colleen skiing here because Preston was under sanctions and wasn't skiing. So this is Colleen in the turquoise hat getting tagged off by her partner. So this race is it's a relay, and so each skier does 2 laps. So there's Colleen tagging off to her partner, which I think is Sonia. I think Sonia Lightamaki. And then there's Colleen tagging off. So I think her partner's Claire. Anyway, so that's Colleen just finishing up. And then this is who? So this is a skate race. Yeah, so it's Claire coming to tag off Colleen. So you can see it's skate because you can see the way that motion right there, that's a skate motion. So that's sort of pushing out and out and out as opposed to the classic Nordic ski, which is the kicking. So this is more of a skating motion, duh. So anyway, this was it was really fun to watch Colleen because she didn't ski last year because she was in the middle school play. And of course I didn't see her run at all in the fall because of her knee issue. So, and then here she is. Maybe they each had 3 laps. I can't remember. So anyway, here's Colleen taking off again. Double poling and skating in. So, and then here she is coming into the finish.
All right, Colleen.
So anyway, it was a pretty cool race. It was fun to watch her. And then here's Colleen and Sonia after the race. So anyway, and then in this next race, which is in Rochester, I don't have any video of Colleen because Preston is taking classes at Winona State. I think I told you this. So he's doing full-time PSEO, which is what Marshall and Duncan did. And so he had to get, as soon as his race was done in Roch, he had to leave, so I had to take him back to Winona to get to his 5 o'clock class at Winona State. So, but also when Preston was just coming into finish and I went over to film him, Colleen was starting, so I missed her start, and then of course I wasn't there for her finish. But it was fun to watch Preston, and it's unfortunate that of course I only get this 15 seconds of start and the 15 seconds of the finish, instead of being able to see, a race, around a track. But it's like cross-country running. You get 30 seconds of a 17-minute race, so that's fine. So anyway, so here is that's Mitchell, and here comes Preston. So what they did is it was like a time trial where they were starting every 15 seconds. One problem with the mass start is in that last race, last week, Mitchell got caught up. So there goes Preston. So Mitchell got caught up in a crash and ended up going down. And so these starts are much better. And then that's Aaron right there to the right, which is Mitchell's little brother. So here comes Preston. I think that's Preston coming into the finish. Yep, that's Preston coming into the finish. And he ended up finishing in this race. There were like 5 teams there, and he finished 3rd overall. There's Kaylin. That, by the way, is Preston's girlfriend. So there were 5 teams, and I think that is Sonia. Yep, that's Sonia. So anyway, there were 5 teams, and Winona boys took the top. They took the top 5 or 4 spots, 1st, 2nd, 3rd, and 4th. So Preston finished 3rd, Mitchell finished 1st, and then I think you met Matt Schultz. He's a swimmer. He's one of the guys I play poker with. Anyway, his son took 2nd. So anyway, it was a fun race. It was really fun to see them compete out there because so many of their races are north of the cities, 2.5 or 3 hours away, and I don't travel to those. So anyway, other than that, I've been just really busy. I've been working on remodeling the basement. I'm almost done with a section, and once I'm done with that, I think tomorrow I'll shoot a video of the finished product, and then I'll make a video of all of it so you can see that. So, excuse me, you didn't tell me how long you were going to be down in Southern California. So presumably, what, another week or so, or a week total, or 2 weeks? I don't know. Anyway, Hope you guys are having a good time. Up here in Minnesota, we had a 50-degree day yesterday and a 35-degree day today, so a lot of the snow is gone. But it's in the end of January. We're going to get plenty of snow by mid-March. It'll come and go, and it's going to get cold again, so blah, 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 blah. Anyway, roasting's going well. I am, of course, in the play, so our first real rehearsal is Tuesday, so I'm really looking forward to that. I have done like I did last time, where I read the scenes into. Actually, I used Movie Studio, and I read them in. That way, I could cut and edit and all of those things. And I created an album that I put on my iPhone so that I can listen to my scenes, and then I left a blank spot where my lines go, so I can rehearse in real time. So anyway, Duncan and Clelia and Layla are coming February 13th. I don't know if I told you that. They'll be here for 2 weeks. I'm really looking forward to that. Marshall's doing fine in school. He's actually applying for a job down at HBC, which is Hiawatha Broadband Communications, which is our local ISP, and gonna, I think, go down there as tech support. The job on campus is fine, but I just think it's kind of boring. And then Preston, as I said, started full-time PSEO, so he's taking 4 classes at Winona State. He's taking film appreciation, cinema, film. He's taking Western Civ since like the World War or something, World War II, I think. He's taking American Government class with Matt Bosworth, Matt. And then he's taking a creative writing class with a guy named Miles, who also happens to swim at the Y, so I know Miles a little bit from there. And he's taking downhill skiing. So he and another guy he goes to high school with go downhill skiing every Wednesday night. But unlike Marshall, who, remember, we withdrew him from the school district, we're not doing that with Preston. Preston still wants to keep a relationship with the high school. He's interested in walking at graduation. So anyway, Colleen is skiing, and I think doing well in her freshman year in school. I feel like I have so much I want to talk about. In a 1-week period, we had dinner with Muhammad and Carol. Their son Solomon is one of the boys who killed himself 2 years ago now. And then like 5 days later, we had dinner with Matt and Andrea, who is Kaya's parent. Kaya's the most recent high school kid to have killed herself. So I want to talk more about that, about suicide prevention, but I want to talk a little more about the play that I'm in, Hot L Baltimore, because it deals in themes of urban decay and urban renewal, and how that looks, how that's done, and what that means to the people who are part of that community where the renewal is taking place. So yeah, and I just want to talk about small town life. Just today went to Steve Briggs's mother's funeral. She had cancer about 4 or 5 years ago, and then it came back. And they thought that she would not make it to Thanksgiving, so she ended up dying January 4th. And Steve and I went out for breakfast just before Christmas, and after that we stopped by his mom's house, and she was playing cards, or I think just having breakfast with like 5 of her friends, almost all of whom I knew from town. So there's something, I don't know, I want to talk a little bit about that, and about that sense of community here. So so that's all I've got. I guess I'll stop this video. Thank you for listening to me wander and talk. So that's my story, and I'm sticking to it. Safe travels. Regards to your wife and son, and we'll talk to you soon.